Hi, Charles Cherney here, and it's The Real Deal, Essential Real Estate Questions. Today we're going to look at an essential seller question, namely, does it make sense to reduce the list price? This, of course, is a great question. The answer to this question is possibly. There are a number of factors at play that determine whether a seller ought to reduce their list price. So first and foremost, the question is the listing overpriced? I mean, this is the classic case of why a price ought to be reduced if the property is just simply overpriced. And in the Cambridge and Somerville market where I work as a top agent, very often there'll be a listing that comes on for a sky high price. It seems high to every potential buyer, to most of the agents in the marketplace. For that kind of listing, with that kind of list price, making a price adjustment, of course, makes sense. If you're way over what the market believes to be the value of the home, it's not serving you as a seller to be committed to that price. You need to bring it into alignment with market value and reduce the list price. So if your property is overpriced, you want to bring it down. So look, let's imagine you're on for $500,000 more than the property's worth, and no one's coming to see the home. Or if people do come and see it, nothing happens. Those are clear signs that your property is overpriced and you need to reduce the number. Look, if you've been on the market for a period of time and there's no interest or activity at all, that's another sign that it's necessary to reduce the list price. Again, what's a period of time? It's not a day. Perhaps it's not even a week. But if you've been on a couple of weeks or more and there's nothing doing and nothing happening, then unless you fall into the category of unique property that requires extreme patience for the buyer to emerge, then likely it's a sign that your price is too high and you need to reduce it. Be thoughtful about how long you've been on the market and what the activity is or lack thereof. It may be that you need to sell, that you don't have time to wait for someone to come along because perhaps you're purchasing another property, or there might be other financial considerations that are weighing on you that require you to sell the home. If in a perfect world you sell for more, but it's not happening and you need to sell, then of course you need to think about reducing the list price to make it more likely that a buyer emerges sooner rather than later and you succeed in selling. So it might be that your own particular situation informs your need to reduce the price. There may also be a shift in the market. What if there's 2 or 3 other properties that have come on the market that are just like yours, that are significantly less, and the market's congregating around those listings and things are happening at them, namely offers that are being accepted? It's another sign that you need to get in alignment with your market. There could be a market shift informed by a significant increase in interest rates, or there could be a shift in the market informed by a world event or something that's causing people to take a time out that's impacting the way that your price is perceived. So market events, market shifts, market realities can also play a role. I guess then if the decision is made to reduce the price, the question is, how much do you reduce it by? And I have found in my experience over the years as a top agent, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to adjust the price just a little, which basically means it's another version of the list price you're on at. So typically an adjustment of 5 or 10,000 is not enough of an adjustment to really even in the minds of the buyers qualify as a price reduction. It just sort of feels like a trim or a haircut. You typically need to adjust the price enough for the marketplace to feel like it's been repriced and reintroduced at that new price to the market. So every now and then you'll see someone reduce their price by 1,000 or 5,000 or 10, and the market just doesn't really even typically look at that in any meaningful way. And so it sort of continues to experience the same reality of sitting and not selling. So, typically you want to move the price enough that the market feels it's been, reduced. So, well, what does that mean? Is it 20,000, 30,000? It depends on the list price. It depends on the property. There are a number of factors at play. And, be thoughtful with your agent in thinking about the price that you may be adjusting to so that you can understand and agree that it does represent a new price that's significant, meaningful, and will make a difference. As an aside, it's not always the price. Presentation matters. I'm remembering a listing I took over this year, which when I took it over was vacant, and the decision was made in taking over the listing to stage it. And that was done, and it made the property look much more inviting. In addition, in taking the listing over, which was priced high, the price was brought down. And so when it was reintroduced by me to the market, it had a new list price for less, and it looked that much better with staging. And wouldn't you know, it sold in 48 hours. Look, it's not just the price, it's presentation. So let's say that you have even a fixer-upper and you're not going to stage it because it needs a ton of work and it wouldn't make a whole lot of sense to introduce staging to the property. It does make sense, however, to clean it and to perhaps have the windows cleaned. And if the yard's in rough shape, to have a landscaper clean it up so that the potential buyer arriving on the doorstep of this fixer-upper enters into a clean, well-lighted space where the light's flowing through the windows and it feels fresh and clean inside. And then stepping into the garden, the grass is cut and the vegetation's been cut back perhaps. And so even in a fixer-upper, there's presentation that can make a difference to the marketplace in terms of how it feels and how it looks. So as for a property that you live in, it might be that you need to get the house cleaner in, clean the windows, tidy up, less is more, put things away, maybe do some touch-up painting, have a few handyman items addressing, what needs to be done. And so look, all those things do make a difference. Yes, of course, price is the ultimate decision, but don't miss the presentation of your property and get that right as well. Look, in a perfect world, you come on the market with your property looking great and priced properly, and then you can avoid this discussion of the price and whether you need to adjust it. That being said, even in a perfect world, when you've done everything right, it may be that you need to consider a price adjustment and be thoughtful in making it for the right amount at the right time with the guidance of your agent. My name is Charles Cherney. And as a top residential real estate agent serving buyers and sellers in Cambridge and Somerville, I welcome the opportunity to connect with you and be of service as you aim to sell for the best price or buy the right home. Be in touch by text, telephone, or email. I'm happy to connect with you and answer your specific questions about the real estate market here. Be in touch. Take care.